Hi, I'm Tom Miranda, and welcome to North American Hunter. In early September, the timbered valleys and grassy meadows of the Rocky Mountains echo with the bugles of rutting bull elk. Today, North American Hunter's Gordy Krahn travels to New Mexico in pursuit of his own slice of the elk rut.
The Jicarilla Reservation in New Mexico, I mean, we're talking about elk nirvana. It is the most beautiful place in the world if you're an elk hunter, and it is quintessential Western hunting. And when you're talking about Western hunting and elk in particular, you better bring your A game, because you're not only going to be covering lots of miles, you're going to be covering lots of vertical miles. You look at this country and right away, you know you're in for a workout. It looks tough, but it's even tougher once you get out there and start testing your legs. This is really vertical country, it's rocky country, it's rim rock country. You're gonna have to really get in shape for this hunt.
It's kind of like an Indian thing. I do a lot of sneaking, a lot of quiet. I sneak in on it and I get close to it.
It happened fast for us. I don't think we were out a couple hours the first day and we spotted our first bull elk. He was up on a ridge line. We had a good look at him. He was silhouetted against the sky. He was a good elk. But Lionel was kind of not so much. He knew there were better elk out there. We gave him a good look. We watched him for a long time, and in the end, we decided to pass on him. You know, it might be one of those things that bites you in the butt later on, but for that point, that early in the hunt, I think it was the right decision.
You know, it's almost cliche to use the phrase game-rich environment, but that's what the Jicarilla is here.
We got elk, mule deer, mountain lion, bears, turkeys, coyotes, prairie dogs, birds, rabbits.
I haven't done a lot of elk hunting. That's why I was really relying on Lionel to, you know, not only find me an elk to shoot, but to tell me if it was a shooter once we did find it. Because believe me, I grew up a whitetail hunter, and every elk I see looks big to me. So we went into some pretty rugged country and did some pretty good hiking. And right away in the morning, we had a lot of bugling.
I really enjoyed hunting with Lionel. He's like 6'5", and I swear that 5'5" of that is legs. And when he sees an elk and he says, "Come on," I mean, I know you're in for a foot race.
Pros Pointers, brought to you by Can-Am. The facts say a lot, the ride says it all.
As a hunter, when somebody says something about nightlife, this is exactly what I have in mind. Georgia coast, whimpering dogs, coon hounds, coon hunting. It's darker than a cat's mouth out here, but we got a brand new light from Laser Genetics. Well, it used to be dark out here. While we're standing here waiting for the dogs to open up on a coon, let me tell you how cool this light is. You've got a flashlight that opens up with a really, really wide beam, or you can break it way down to focus in. If that's not cool enough, it comes with a scope mount. This turns your flashlight essentially into night vision, a Gen 1 night vision scope. Hit the button, the scope mounts have windage and elevation adjustments. So when I'm looking through the scope right now, I see the crosshairs clean as green, and it looks like a night vision scope. It is totally awesome, and the best part, you're looking at a tenth, if that, of the price of a really good night vision scope. It's perfect for coon hunting, and it is wicked, wicked cool fun. The cool part about this light is its adaptability to do pretty much anything you want it to do. I mean, the green is not so bright where you're going to be spooking everything. That sound right there is almost better than a church choir. I love it. I don't care who you are. If you don't think that's awesome when they come rolling down the hill like that, screaming and charging on their last leg, I don't think you and me could ever be friends, because that is awesome.
We got on an elk later in the day.
We located a bull that was down in a draw, and there was a long finger of a meadow that led down in there. And we could see the cows first, and they were just milling around at the end of the meadow, and then Lionel spotted the bull. And we were glassing that bull, and we could just see the tips of his antlers above the grass, and we figured him to be, looked like a pretty good 6x6, but we could just see the one side.
We thought we were on a pretty good elk,
As it turns out, he got up and looked at us. He was a 6x0. That's why we hadn't been able to see the other side. There wasn't one.
So we took it as an experience, took it as a good time, but we had a front coming in. We could already feel the temperature starting to drop and the winds picking up. We knew we had to get on our game and we had to find that good bull elk.
North American Hunter is brought to you by Federal Premium Ammunition. Every shot counts. Matthews, catch us if you can. Mossy Oak, it's not a passion, it's an obsession. Nikon, the trusted name in optics. Thompson Center, America's master gunmaker. HuntingClub.com, the official site of the North American Hunting Club. And by Cabela's, world's foremost outfitter of hunting, fishing, and outdoor gear.
Wyoming, Colorado, Arizona, great elk states. New Mexico, I'd put it at the top of my list. Not only are there a lot of elk, there are a lot of good elk in New Mexico, and we were seeing some monsters on the Jicarilla. I'm a Midwestern guy, but for me, going out west, it's such an experience. It's not so much about hunting elk as it is hunting elk country. The mountains, the meadows, the draws, it is just, you get to put your feet to this ground, you'll never forget it.
You've just spent all kinds of money on a high-end bow setup. What are you gonna do? Hook it to a $10 release? It doesn't make any sense. It'd be like getting a high-end steak and putting ketchup on it. That's nasty. Even the best riflemen sitting behind the best rifles are never ever gonna shoot sub-MOA groups without a high-end trigger. And the exact same thing holds truth for bow hunters. And just like on a rifle, a good bow trigger is one that breaks quickly and cleanly. The only way to really feel a good trigger is to shoot a pile of them for yourself. But check out how far this trigger doesn't move before the shot breaks. Nothing. Seriously, don't be putting ketchup on your steak and don't be insulting your high-end bow with a low-end cheap release. If you spend as much time hunting for your release as you did for the right bow, you're gonna be a better shooter.
So we got up the second morning, that front had rolled in, and the temperature had just dropped. It was down to about 20 degrees, and it had been 46 degrees the morning before. This felt like elk hunting weather. I mean, it was crisp out. You could see the stars. There wasn't a bit of wind, and it just felt like, you know, this is the morning to get it done. And we started hearing a few bugles, and I really thought, you know, this is going to be it. We heard one good bull fire up, and we headed off across the meadow to try to run him down.
Well, when I get excited, I hear a elk bugle, or especially if it's from a big bull, kind of makes my heart race. I move like a train. There's a bull. There's a bull off to the left. About 15, 20 yards to the left. He's a big one. He's a big one. He's a shooter. We gotta go now.
I could tell right away that we were on a good bull. We'd seen several bulls, but this is the first time that I saw Lionel get excited. And Lionel says, let's get going, and those big legs were already moving, so I just picked up my stuff and got up behind Lionel, and we needed to cut off some distance because they were grazing and we could see the cows kind of moving off to our right, and we knew that we had to get ahead of them and before they got into some of the heavier brush or into the canyon.
These elk were on the move. We had to be on the move too. And all of a sudden Lionel stopped me and we crouched down and the cows were starting to come through single file. And we just had a real narrow shooting lane. And I mean, this was it. This is all we had. And I could see the cows start coming through. I saw one come through, the second one come through. The problem was we weren't sure that the bull had already moved through, and if he was gone through that clearing, he was already in the canyon and he was gone. And then I saw the antlers. I could just see glimpses of the antlers coming through the woods. I got ready. I knew this was it.
Ooh, you got it. You hit it.
I think I saw him fall over. Oh man, he's a good bull. Good job of stopping him, man, that was nice. It was just very exhilarating because it happened so quickly once it happened. And elk hunting can be like that, you know. You shift from one mode to the next. You're in the hunting mode and you're covering a lot of ground and you're just taking it all in. Then all of a sudden you're on that bull and the adrenaline starts pumping through you and your heart starts beating heavily. You know, when I close my eyes, it's one of those hunts where I can still see that bull elk moving out into that clearing. When Lionel hit the bugle, he turned his head, looked right at me. It's a vision that's burned in my memory. It's etched in my memory, and I'll never forget it.
Up next, we head to Wyoming to choose between mule deer and whitetails when North American Hunter returns.
Welcome back to North American Hunter. You know, northeastern Wyoming has always been a pronghorn and mule deer hunting destination. But in the last 15 years or so, hunters have been traveling west to seek out the numerous western whitetails that have invaded the river bottom habitats that are found in this prairie country.
Bill Miller is splitting his time between Montana and Wyoming, literally.
I've got my left foot in Wyoming, my right foot in Montana. Because I've got a deer tag in Montana and I've got a deer tag in Wyoming.
He's here with Trophies Plus Outfitters, and he has already finished the job in Montana with this mature buck.
Well, we enjoyed success on the Montana half of the trip, and today's opening day down here in the area of Hewlett, Wyoming. Well, we've got an appointment in a blind up on the hill right back there, hopefully with a big whitetail or mule deer buck. The tag's good for either one.
We have the ability to take people and we can hunt in Montana and in Wyoming for deer and antelope, both on the same hunt.
It just works well to be, for us, located in this tight a corner because it opens up a lot of different areas that aren't available to other outfitters.
On the Wyoming portion of our hunt, we were on the personal ranch of our guide Jeff, the place that he owns and lives, which is a big advantage because he really knows his deer.
I tend to try to really concentrate on the bedding area to the food source and try to get in them travel corridors.
The first spot he set us up in, we had activity right away. Multiple bucks coming through, and we got to see fantastic pre-rut and early rut activity. That was a good sign because we knew that with the rut coming on, the deer would be moving. But at that first location, we saw a lot of bucks, but we just didn't see the kind of quality, at least age group buck that we were after. So we just watched the show. Because I'd taken a whitetail in Montana already, I kind of urged Jeff to put us in a spot where we might get a chance at a good mule deer buck. So he picked another location, gave me a map to get in, and I walked in the dark in the morning and got to pick the spot that I sat down. Used some of my own strategy and hunting knowledge, and as the sun came up, the deer started to move. There's a little buck coming down the hill. Oh, there's a bigger buck behind him. He's gonna have to come some close. Oh man, he's turning. This might actually work. Wait for him to go broadside. He's done. He's done. He dropped like a ton of bricks and he's done. Oh, look at that. He's an older deer. Long face, big body, pot belly. He's even got an extra kicker on that left main beam that I didn't see. That officially makes him 4x5. He completes the challenge. 2 bucks, 2 states, 1 trip. 6-day hunt in total, and we're done in 4. Fantastic.
Up next, 1 animal, 2 hunters, and a clear difference of opinion. You Call the Shots is next.
The West is all about public land hunting, and believe me, in my backyard of Wyoming, there's plenty of opportunities. And that's where I was on this hunt, trying to find one of those pesky pronghorns that a lot of the ranchers think they'd be better off without.
And I'll be the first to say that those ranchers who think the world is better off without pronghorns are fools. I don't ever want to make fun of any rancher because there might be someday where I need to suck up and hopefully hunt his land. But anybody who calls a pronghorn a prairie rat has absolutely no respect for me.
On this hunt though, I've got a huge dilemma. I've got flirting, just flaky pronghorns ready to blow out, and I've got to decide, am I going to take this shot of a buck standing right in the middle of the herd and the herd is about to leave, or keep looking for a pronghorn? So what do you think I'm going to do, Luke?
First, these pronghorn are not huge, but as you mentioned, it's public land. So if they're an accurate representation of what's running around on this property, then yeah, I'd take them all day long. And number 2, 300 yards, not so bad, but in my opinion, it's all about the wind. Now, based upon looking at this, the wind is breezy, and it's always breezy out there, but it doesn't look windy. So if the wind is fairly steady and not too strong, I think I'd be taking this shot.
Well, you're right about that breezy wind, and if you were there, it'd probably be breezier with all the hot air you're blowing. But I am gonna take this shot because no gusty winds, I haven't seen many antelope, and I am ready to move on to mule deer. So, pronghorn, get ready to go into the Kaiser freezer for some of those winter time fajitas. There's nothing wrong with that antelope at all.
Hi, I'm Melissa Bachman and this is Field Test. Everything you'll see here has been tested and approved by members of the North American Hunting Club. If you're looking for the latest outdoor gear, this is information you can rely on. Wildlife Research Center Coyote Juice Calling Scent is a powerful long-range scent that triggers the hunting instincts. Club member Barry Johnson says, I had several coyotes come straight to the scent wicks. It attracts very well and is a great addition to a good calling setup. Trail cam visor means clear lenses. Clear lenses mean quality photos. You can't control rain, snow, or even those pesky critters that play havoc with the camera lenses, but with trail cam visors, you can. Club member Dan McManus says, I would never have believed how much difference this product makes if I wouldn't have tried it myself. For more information on these products or to have your gear field tested, join me at huntingclub.com. Remember, it's field tested and member approved. I'm Melissa Bachman of the North American Hunting Club. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to log on to huntingclub.com because we've got all sorts of bonus material. We've got other hunts, tips, and deleted scenes that you won't want to miss. So be sure to log on to huntingclub.com today.
Next week on North American Hunter, we travel to the land of big whitetails as Melissa Bachman searches for an Illinois giant. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm Tom Miranda, and this is North American Hunter.
North American Hunter is brought to you by New Supercharged Scent Killer by Wildlife Research Center, beyond 99%. Quebec, providing emotion since 1534. To receive your free packages brochure, please call 1-877-BONJOUR. Cuddyback, fast trigger speed, long battery life. Gammo USA, adult precision ear guns. Can-Am, the facts say a lot, but the ride says it all. And by Mossberg, field-proven performance.